I think people in the TV industry struggled to distinguish whether I was actually like, yeah, fucking here you go, mate, or if that was an act. It's like, it's an act, it's a role.
I think you came in at like a very interesting time of TV because, like, you know, it was the advent of Foxtel, it was like 95, right? And then, you know, you've been around through a massive change. So like, what do you think was good about that time versus now, and what's better about now?
That is a great question. That is a great question and very insightful. I had never really thought about the fact that I did come along at a time when someone like myself who had worked in hardware stores and cafes got an opportunity to be on TV. I've never thought about it in that context. Red, the music channel, was going to launch on Galaxy, pay TV. This guy I worked with suggested, you never shut up. You should go and audition for this, you'd be great. So I went, flannelette shirt, high-vis vest, shaved head. They said, why do you want this job? I said, I'm about to be evicted from my house where I live. The cafe I work is about to be closed down. I'm desperate. And apparently they all cracked up when they watched that. Everyone else, like soap stars, actors, whatever, they go, I love music.
Game to sell.
Music's my passion. And I hadn't even thought about it, I was just like honest. And so I landed that gig, and thinking about it now, like if it wasn't for pay TV, there's no way someone like me was going to get their head on television.
With pizza, to me, okay, so what is it about? What is it about pizza? Because I feel like it's this. I read this Herald article where it was talking about Paul Fennick, and it said the unsinkable Paul Fennick when it was reviewing the Fat Pizza movie that came out a couple of years ago. And he's got this similar format that now it hasn't changed a whole lot. And like, it's not brain surgery, but it works, and there's something like it hits the right notes, it would seem.
Paul is a master exploiter of opportunities. So
Good thing to be.
It is. You know, my understanding of Paul comes from having worked with him for many years. He was my first producer in pay TV. He got me to do 40 takes, you know, with a green screen and an auto cue. Hey guys, welcome, da da da. Well, because I was totally green. I'd never been on camera before. And he drilled us in doing it again and again. And he was great. He would say, perfect, one more. I always said to him, that's what I'm going to put on your grave, mate. Perfect, one more. Because he would, you know, he'd big you up, give you a big up, but just one more, perfect, one more. Honestly, 40 takes every time. Show me the dancing eyes. He used to say, so he basically schooled me in appearing on camera in a recorded environment.
The original incarnation of Fat Pizza was a Tropfest film, right? It was like Pizza Delivery Man or something.
Base Pizza, I think. I can't remember if he won that as submitting it as a woman. Laura Feinstein was from memory, Okay. And then he went up to accept his award, and John Paulson was livid that actually there was Paul Fennick. I mean, that's, again, you know...
He's a bit of an outsider in a way, right?
He's a total maverick. Total maverick.
Which is great. I love that. I wish there were like more people like that in the industry. I don't think it should be all a cookie cutter of a certain type of artistic person. Like,
probably also why people, you know, that he has a following, a bit like Kevin Smith has a following. People go see a Kevin Smith film. It's that notion of being critic-proof.
Sure.
And Paul also has a component of not giving a fuck. So he's made his stuff to please himself. I think pizza was naughty, but also had a political edge. You know, it was for the underdog, or represented ethnicities that we hadn't really seen on TV before. It was almost like a woggy Kingswood country.
And that's what people respond to in comedy. They want to see kind of stereotypical truths played out in funny ways, you know. And if, you know, the critics, you know, they go, I don't know, go watch The Life of Pi. I mean, good luck to you.
Then Paul said, do you want to come on as a character, like as a bong-smoking token Aussie kind of guy, Davo Dinkum?
Because you came on in the film, right? Was that your...
I
so
think
you did the
season
spot.
3, maybe I did the spot, and then either season 2 or season 3 we did the feature film, Fat Pizza. I mean, I was very nervous, you know, no recollection of dialogue, because I was a big pot smoker. I have shocking short-term memory. So if you watch any of my stuff from Pizza, there's very short scenes. I'm not remembering many lines. Oh, come on, baby, it's after 9 o'clock. You know, something simple like that. Or, you know, a lot of it was really, and this is again what Paul's good at, he's great at grabbing heads, you know, and just like do this, do that.
Yeah.
You know, he really
There's a lot of that.
understands the way the camera can convey things.
How much of you is in there?
Well, for pizza, I was a very heavy pot smoker, so you know we were on set, and you know every time that was for real. I think I spent more money on pot than I would have earned making the show. With Housos, I didn't. You know, I stopped smoking in 2004, so that was always fake. I hated smoking bongs after that because I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't smoke pot, so you know.
Having to sort of relive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't so into it, but you know, it was fun. It was one of those things too, where it was it was very low budget. We were eating kebabs or whatever for lunch in the gutters of streets in Western Sydney. It was a real camaraderie, and there was also a lot of laughter. Like you're filming these ridiculous scenes, and more often than not, you crack up doing them. You end up corpsing.
Which is a good sign.
It's great. It's like, who doesn't want to go to a job? But that's what Australians do. As I say, you go to work as a plumber on a building site or whatever. You want to have a laugh.
Yeah.
And we're getting paid to go there and play these ridiculous characters.
Yeah.
So for a long time, it was extremely enjoyable. I guess as I got older, it became, I became acutely aware of the fact that it wasn't my creation. You know, that I needed to probably
have something your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we went from September 1 to September 21. Regurgitated were recording an album in a 3-week period, all unfolded live on camera. And my producers were like, "This is so boring. We need to." You know, they joked about releasing bees. It's like basically like what the Hunger Games became. We should put a dog in there. We should put bees in there. Somebody broke in one night. On September 11, they climbed over the fence.
And he was sitting next to Quan or whatever.
And we kind of turned around and we're like, who are you? I particularly freaked out. I tried to attack this guy. I chased him out. I had a key to get out and I got out of the bubble, went and stayed in a hotel that night, elected to come back the next night. Then they changed the locks and I didn't have a way of getting out. So I've never listened to that album. I've never gone back and watched a single frame of that experience. It was simultaneously the single worst experience of my life. And also one of the most interesting. I was, in quite a great deal of personal distress, but I hid that behind a mask of being Jabba.
Big and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when I came out of that experience, that was, as I say, I never appeared on camera again for Channel V. I couldn't appear on camera anywhere. I was absolutely paranoid of CCTV cameras. I had clinical depression, some paranoia, like it was a full-on experience. And interestingly, every day we're in there, we kind of created this narrative of we're going mad. You know, they go,
yeah.
What's going on? Oh, we're going crazy. And it's like, I actually did go crazy, which I think is another thing that's had a real flow-on effect for my career. Is like people are a bit reluctant to hire me because who really knows what I'm capable of?
Yeah.
There is so few people who saw it or understood that I put my heart and soul into that for the net result of trashing my career.
And do you look at the Osher Ginsbergs of the world and the James Mathesons and think that you could have been that? Like, do you...
Oh, look, it's a question that's haunted me, and I look at both those guys and...
and would you want to?
Well, it'd be nice to have a gig and have that profile, but also I have carved out my own niche as this kind of, I don't know quite what. As I said to you, I've been through a lot of managers.
Renegade?
Yeah, renegade maybe.
Yeah.
But you need to harness that renegade into some business savvy thing. I mean, television is a business, broadcasting is a business, media is a business.
And then, so what makes a good presenter?
You want to appear on camera, and whether you're talking about plants, like I watch a lot of lifestyle stuff. Kevin McLeod, I think, is an example of one of the great TV presenters. He clearly loves architecture. He clearly knows what he's talking about. This is Grand Designs, the English version. He's in his element when he's having a look at some incredible house, and he's also acutely aware of one of the reasons the show works is we're busybodying and sticky beaking inside people's homes. There's a voyeuristic aspect to it. It's not just an appreciation of architecture and style and design.
I think so many kids from the 90s would be like so gutted to know that Dave O'Dinkum watches Grand Designs.
That's funny.
Most people are not comfortable in front of a camera. You need to get to the point where you are relishing being on camera and you know where to steer it and whether you need to go on for 5 seconds or go on for 20 minutes. When I started there, I was like, okay, here we go, 3, 2, and here to tell us more, Jason Jabba Davis. Well, guys, so the movie starts off and they're running in England. Let's take a look. It was just like, wow, and you experienced at this?
Yeah.
So you've got to be comfortable, you need to, like anything, do it often enough that it becomes second nature.
All right, cool. I think that covers it.
Great.
It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for the
man.
opportunity.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back after this.